Hi, Dr. Roseann here, and today we're going to talk about when should you be worried about your child's behavior. I'm an integrative and pediatric mental health expert who is on a mission to change the way we view and treat children's mental health. If you're new to my channel, hit subscribe and turn on your notifications so you get my videos every week. Let's dive in. When we talk about kids' behaviors, there's a range of behaviors, and most of the time, the behaviors that you see in your kid are normal. You may not like them, and they may be imperfect, but that's typical. Let's talk about normal development. So, in normal development, kids are trying to find themselves. They're testing limits. They are trying to be a fancy word called autonomous. What does that mean? Independent. They're looking for ways of safe increasing independence. Independence is a key protective factor in children's mental health. I was raised to be really independent. If I were to tell you some of the stories of my parents letting us be independent in the 70s and 80s, yes, it was a different time, but even then it was different. My parents really empowered us to have our own voices, which I'm really glad. And my kids are also really independent. And one of the ways that my kids are independent is through cooking. My youngest, Giancarlo, is like famous for his independence. Super pleasant, but also really independent. He loves to cook. Both my boys love to cook, and they're both really independent with their kitchen skills. Cooking is so fantastic because in the developmental spectrum, you can give kids appropriate independence. So at the younger ages, you can give them a blunted knife, you can have them cut things, you can have them spice foods, fill up water, measure things and whatnot. And then you can really increase their cooking skills depending on where they are, right? When you're worried about your child's behavior and if something's abnormal, think about those things. Are they looking for independence? Is it just imperfect behavior? Are those grades up and down because there's a clinical issue or because maybe they don't understand something? Or is it just normal? And please know that straight A's are not normal. I know you're going to say, Roseann, but I want my kid to have straight A's. That's something that you and your child have to come to terms with. I'm going to tell you that those straight A's don't necessarily equate to the best things in life. You know, if COVID has taught us anything, it's that our mental health is more important than anything. So when should you be concerned about your child's behavior? You should be concerned if there is a change in your child's behavior, whether it's a sudden or a gradual change. I mean, certainly we want to be really concerned about sudden changes in behavior. You want to assume something is going on. So all of a sudden your kid is afraid to go to school. Well, that's easy. Something's going on. All of a sudden they can't get to sleep. They're having nightmares. Their friendship groups change. You have to assume something is going on. Now, here's the tricky part. You can't always just say, "What's going on, Amy?" Because they may not understand or they may be embarrassed. A better way to say it is, Amy, I see you're not hanging out with Betty and blah, 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 blah. What can I do to help you here? And try to open that dialogue without defensiveness. Maybe that will work, maybe it won't, but try to think about questions that aren't yes and no, because that can be really helpful to be there. And also spend time with your kids and do physical activities that you've heard me say before. When the body is moving, the lips start moving. If your child is exhibiting distress, so emotionality that's increased, now remember, increased emotionality around hormone changes, teenage years are normal. Is it so abnormal? Is it all the time? Is it extreme? Are they making really dramatic statements like, "Oh, I wish the world ended," or "I hate myself"? How dramatic are these issues? What kind of statements and how disruptive are they to the family life and your child's life? Are these issues lasting a while? Are they significant and they're disrupting some component of your child's life? So their academics, their social relationships, their thinking. I always include sleep in there because that's always a big tell sign, and again, your family relationship. Because sometimes when your kid is really struggling, boy, Can they create this negative vortex in a family? And so you want to look for those signs too, right? So we know that if these issues are happening for a long time, what other signs should we be looking for? I've talked about it a lot, somatic signs. So are there headaches? Is sleep disrupted? Are there stomach aches? Are they reduced eating? Are they overeating? Are they complaining of fatigue all the time? Look for those signs that their body is telling them they're stressed, they're depressed, they're having a hard time. Open up a dialogue with your child about it. Try to be motivational, but also say, hey, listen, I'm taking this yoga class. Come on and take it with me. Or let's go walk down to your cousin's house. Get them moving, because when you move, the brain releases some pretty darn feel-good chemicals called endorphins. If you've been helping your kid, trying to talk with them, getting them moving, using natural tools like biofeedback and meditation and yoga, and they seem stuck, guess what? There's probably a problem. And at that point, you really want to seek help from a licensed mental health provider. And as you know, you can find help through teletherapy anywhere in the United States. And you want to try to ask for a referral from one of your friends if possible, or your child's physician. So what's my big Dr. Rowe no? Don't assume there isn't a problem. Kids do have problems. They get stuck. It happens. It can happen in the best of families with the most idyllic life. Sometimes stress builds in the body and it's hard. So if we don't assume there's a problem, it means that your kid's not going to get the help that they need, and you want to intervene early. What's my Dr. Rowe go? So trying to help your child, whether it's a developmental issue or a clinical issue, be there as a supporter. Be positive in your statements. My other Dr. Rowe go is to be a role model for managing stress. If we role model how to manage stress, kids have much better coping skills. My last Dr. Rowe go is be proactive and get help. Nobody ever regrets getting help. They only regret when they don't. If you feel like you need parent coaching or you feel like your kid is just stuck, get help. We need to destigmatize mental health. There's so many wonderful things that you can do to support your child naturally. Psychotherapy, working with a therapist to do breath work and meditation and mindfulness. These are tools that will help your child today and help them in the future. So remember, if you or a child you care about is struggling, I'm here to tell you it's gonna be okay. I am here to show you how to help teens and children feel calm, alert, and good about themselves. I want to hear how you're helping your child's mental health. So leave it in the comments below. Catch you on the next episode. And remember to subscribe to the Dr. Roseann channel, where we talk about natural and effective ways to reduce and reverse mental health.